Just gone 20 to 11. It is the last day of trading the MACD double axe strategy. Can we get back into profit? We need $59.71 to do it. How are these charts looking? Since we left yesterday, it did go on a bit of an up run, but now coming back down, and we've got the MACD below zero. That means sell signals for us, of course. So we can jump over to the 5-minute chart on the right. Price currently going down. Don't think you would have done well in this move though, to be honest. This is your entry candle right here, so you're going to be getting into a sell trade there. ATR at that point is, we'll be generous and call it 1.5. So you need to avoid 45 points even without a spread. Yeah, 46 there just before the top. So you're gone. That would be a losing trade. You would not be enjoying these current gains. Glad we missed out on that one. And likewise, if you weren't filtering and you took a buy trade here, that would be at the top of this candle. You're going to have to take profits very quick. Let's check the calendar. Okay, all day in India. Guru Nanak Jayanti. Now, what kind of a guru are you anyway? The first of Sikhism. Enjoy that one if you are a Sikh or celebrating with the Sikhs. Yearly numbers from Japan in the Asia session. CPI year on year, 0.1% actual against 0.5% forecast. And if you exclude food and energy below, drops to negative 0.7. Japan managing to avoid serious inflation at the moment. Growth for knowledge, consumer confidence, negative 14. Better than the previous negative 17, so on the up and up, I suppose. Unemployment rate from France at 8.30. Not good for them on Q3. 8.1% actual against 7.6% forecast. So they've missed the forecast by quite a bit, and it's actually up on the previous of 8% as well. PPI month on month from Germany, 9 a.m. Look at the number we're seeing there. This is the Producers Price Index, 3.8% actual. They'd already forecast it to be big at 1.6%, and that was on top of a previous of 2.3%. It had seemed like Germany had been holding back on the CPI, but after seeing these PPI numbers, that could easily feed through to them. Not a promising number. But here we do have a positive number that comes in at 3.8%. It's the Norwegian GDP quarterly figure. Beat the forecast and the previous, which were both at 1%. Pretty nice. And we've had retail sales from Great Britain as well. Month on month, up 0.8% actual against a 0.3% forecast. That's what they'd want to see with Christmas looming. Start seeing that increase month on month. And core retail sales month on month up as well. This one by quite a lot, 1.6% actual versus a negative 0.1% forecast. Encouraging numbers from the Great British Pound, retail sales on the up, and consumer confidence too. That's all we've had this morning. Christine Lagarde started making a speech at 10:30. Could still be going with that. But that's over at the ECB. And there as well, we've also got Supervisory Board member Jochnik making a speech. Nothing then until 3 o'clock when Bundesbank President Weidmann hopefully explains his thoughts on that PPI number. 3:30, no major US numbers this time. We have got Canada's retail sales and core retails month on month though, as well as their new housing price index. I think anyone can buy a house in Toronto on the cheap, right? And that's it, unless you're interested in Fed Governor Waller's speech at 5:45 from the Fed, as well as Vice Chairman Clarida speaking at 7:15. Could be some good stock tips in there. And then to round off the day, the Baker Hughes US oil rig count and the total rig count. So very few events throughout the day. That does mean though that we can look purely at our technical strategy. Haven't got to be concerned about some major inflation numbers coming on the franc. Unemployment skyrocketing above 20%. We can just check out our MACDs. And our 5-minute quicker MACD line, that's currently going with price, getting pushed further away from the zero line. And as it's sell trades only for us, we are waiting for the cross and the recross. See what happens. Almost at 11:30, and we are seeing a big drop off in price. Look at this rundown now. Something's causing this. That is a really big move. You are tremendously sad that you got knocked out of your trade up here. That high in price would have wiped you out from your sell trade there, but look at it go. The MACD line is basically vertically down. That is a steep drop off. 10 minutes on, still dropping pretty quickly here. Had a consolidation candle, but now moving down again. It's 35 pips from these candles here. Really strong move if you're in on it. 12:20, and this might be the sell-off slowing now. We've just seen a bigger recandle for a retracement. Those are the 3 big red ones there. We can see the impact over on the hourly chart. And it is still a red candle though, which means we could see the drop continue after a period of consolidation. Seems like it could stay steady though. A lot of this down to Christine Lagarde's comments, President of the ECB, saying that, and I quote, conditions to raise rates are very unlikely to be satisfied next year. So it's a very heavy signal from her that there will be no interest rate rises in 2022 from the ECB. Brave move, and it would make sense we would see the euro weaken from it. Would have loved to have been a part of this move. We'll wait for our signal. It did turn into a bounce with price here. So we now see the MACD line does close above zero. I don't think the MACD histogram on the hourly chart is going to move anywhere near that zero line anytime soon. So that means without worry, we can now look for sell trades. As soon as that MACD line recrosses zero, we'll be in looking for a win. And it does seem like we will be getting that entry signal in 30 seconds time at 1:30. ATR currently at 6.2 pips, so it'll be 18.6 to the stop loss. Bit wider, we've still got these candles involved in that, but it has come off the peaks up here where it was near 10 pips. This trade should have plenty of room to move, as we do get exactly 0.14 standard lots as our entry, and we get the confirmation. Price coming our way a little bit already. Got our take profit here, stop loss back up there. It's quite a nice trade entry because it's not asking us to break into new lows in price, get beneath the support level. It's come off a big retracement and then just ranged. We've hopefully got in right at the end of this range here. This drop is looking promising. Could definitely see us taking money here. We are almost 40 minutes into this trade and we are so close to our take profit triggering. Just a couple more pipettes and we will get there. It's right on the edge of it. Let's zoom in, see how close that is. And we got it. There we go. Money made for this trade. Banked $20.12 from subtrade A. Subtrade B, trading stop loss. That's moved to the good now. Guaranteed at least $2 or $3 from that. Let's see if it can keep on running. Price has got room to move because of that higher ATR that there was when we got into the trade. So far, so good. As we head into 3 o'clock, we are able to find new lows in price. And we see the trade and stop loss bump up there. It's exactly what we want. It's been slow going, but now the drop comes. Let's see if in 3 minutes time the New York Forex session traders can bring even more of a sell-off to the euro to really get a move going. Price gets our trailing stop loss though. It is procced and we didn't get as much out of it as we would have liked. $12.82. That does mean we are going to need another winning trade if we want to get into profit. The next few periods, more green comes, pushes that MACD line above zero. That's not the entry signal for us, but then hopefully that is just a sharp pullback on what price is actually going to do, which is continue a downward trend, and hopefully we can get in one last time and get some more profits. Here comes the turn. We might see the MACD line cross over at the end of this period. Not quite there. We need a steep drop in price again, not beyond the realms of possibility, but we like our moves to be a bit more subtle. I wouldn't want to see a big drop off just to get us in. Let's see it range for a bit and then take a smaller drop. How about that to get us in? We have the 330 numbers from Canada as well. Retail sales month on month, negative 0.6% actual against a forecast of negative 1.3. Well, at least they beat the forecast, but it is still down. The previous was 1.8%. As we said, with Christmas coming up, a lot of these companies will want to see retail sales increase. And that goes for core retail sales as well. Canada's month on month down 0.2%, negative 0.2 against forecast of negative 0.3. So also down there on the core retail sales. I tell you what did beat the forecast and was up though, the new housing price index. Month on month 0.9% increase. That beats the forecast of 0.6. Here we see on the charts, if it closes as it is, we will actually get the entry here. That MACD ever so slightly below zero at the moment. Could go either way. 10 seconds to go and it has pulled up from giving the entry signal. As it is, not going to be able to get in just yet. That is fine though. Wouldn't have wanted to enter here at the lows. So let's see what the next candle brings. Again, MACD line below. Wouldn't mind seeing price stay where it is and get an entry in that position. And here comes the entry signal just a few seconds away. Haven't got the pullback we wanted it looks like. But that is fine. We are ready to get in when the clock turns over and we get the confirmation. There it is. We sell off the market. And it all comes down to this, our strategy defining trade. 4.3 pips on the ATR, that's 12.9 to the stop loss, 86 to the take profit, subtrade 8, subtrade B, stop loss the same at 129, but let's get that trading stop on, custom 86 points. Doesn't look too bad, a take profit level is not below the lower price for the day. We can get right down there again. The stop loss, that is above the resistance level. Again, room to move. So it all rides on this, whether or not we can get into profit. We need it to go a little bit further than that take profits. We need about $6 or $7 from the trading stop loss. Getting to just there and then immediately retracing wouldn't be enough. So if we can get to the low of the day again, that would be profit for us. Nothing has ever mattered more than this trade. Almost to the, there we go, it's gone, the stop loss. That did not take long. That was 4 minutes and 30 seconds into the trade, less than that. Let's pull that up on the history. Just like that, $27.87 loss on each of them, and it is pushing up further there. got in at the very worst time, in at 10 past 4, out at 14 minutes past. That's a rough one, and immediately we see the MACD line crosses. Was really hopeful for that trade, thought we could get into profit, but we have missed out there big time. It does feel like the wins that we got, we have to grind for them, we do have to wait it out. And some of the losses, they just happen in a blink of an eye, in the flash of a lightning strike. Well, that's the way it can go in trading. As it just passes 5 o'clock, we are going to end the session there. And that ends the strategy as well. A very anticlimactic finish to it. Thought this was going to be a good setup right here. But alas, we got in on a terrible candle. Not what would have been one of the worst though. Would have hit to be stuck in a buy trade around about here. But as it is, we didn't get there. Let's check it all out over in the journal. Okay, our final journal. 8 trades across 4 days with 4 winners and 4 losers. The problem though is those winners weren't enough to get us into profitability. This figure at the bottom line, that will remain red. $82.50 as we said is the loss. We started with $5,677.39 and we finished at $5,594.89. We needed more from the trailing stop loss. We didn't get it. If you look at our winning trades, sub-trade A, which was the ratio-based trade, they took more money on the whole than sub-trade B with the trailing stop losses. Only one trailing stop loss made more than the ratio trades. That was this one here, $34.53. You've got to get onto those big moves. We did miss a potentially long-standing one at the start of the very first session that happened 10 minutes before we came on. But we did also see potential trades that we back-tested that wouldn't have gone so good. So it's not like we missed out on just good trades. And sad that we didn't get the signal on that huge drop on the euro today. Even if we had taken the previous signal, the one that would have got us in, that actually got knocked out by the high of price a few candles after, before the big drop. So you didn't get a recross, you wouldn't have got in on that. But those are the type of moves that you have to be in on if you want to get this into profit. So there we go, those are our trades. Before we finish the strategy entirely, let's just give our final thoughts. In the end, as we didn't get into profit across 4 days of trading the MACD double axe strategy, I couldn't possibly recommend it for trading. That's not to say it couldn't work well under certain conditions. If you are able to get those big trending moves that we saw, winning trades are a thing. We weren't starved for gains, it's just that our successful trades weren't doing as well as our losing trades. Only one of our 4 winners made more gains than we lost on all of the individual losing trades. It's a path to disaster over a longer period of time, but we'll quit whilst we're only a small amount behind. From the money management perspective of things though, it could have gone worse. Our losses would have been amplified if we were using a tighter stop loss, or if we'd widened the take profit to match the stop loss at 3 times ATR. In that situation, we wouldn't have got profits on the first trade on our opening day. That was right at the peak of price and would have been a full loss for us. It also benefited us to not exit trades just because the 5-period MACD line recrossed its 0 level. The damage to our account would have mounted up from that, as we would have been hopping in and out of trades when price was stuck ranging away. And speaking of being in a range, even though it only really affected us for 1 out of the 4 days that we traded, we did still have to put up with the hourly MACD chart flipping and reflipping for a session. On that day, we did lose 2 trades, more than any other day. It can be somewhat off-putting, as in my opinion, you'd prefer to trade in a single direction for the session. So with that in mind, it could make sense to change from an hourly time frame as a filter to the daily time frame. That way you check the chart once at the start of the session and you know exactly where you're at for the entire day. On the whole though, do I think that other indicators could help you out with the strategy and improve on it? I'm sure they could, but then you'd have to rename the strategy from the MACD double act to something else. Doesn't seem feasible, so final answer, no. That's it from us, but if you are chilling in a stairway cupboard, waiting to become the next Harry Potter, then why not check out the video description while you wait and get more information on the indicators and the strategy. Lastly, of course, we'd never tested this strategy before, so this was all done with demo money. Why put real money into something you don't know or trust? And this strategy is one of many that demonstrates why. Thank you for watching. This is Project Trade. I am Mansa Musa's Puppet Master, and we are the Traders of the Lost Chart from the Department of Charts and Recreation. We will trade again.